Hey!
Today we are with Ryan Tacke, who is the CEO of ThrivePass, a wonderful tech platform that people can use for certain benefits. And we're going to ask Ryan to kind of give us the lowdown about why ThrivePass is unique and what you do. So, hello.
Hello, Ryan. Hello.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
My pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about ThrivePass and kind of what who might utilize your technology.
Yeah, so we are a B2B technology company. We provide SaaS technology as well as administrative services across a number of different areas, all the way from pre-tax benefits to corporate administration to our unique lifestyle accounts that we provide. We are truly international, not only from our own employee base, but we serve employer clients and their employees in the employee benefit space in 47 countries today, continuing to expand in 2024.
That's awesome.
And Ryan, how did you get involved in this business? How did one like you end up here?
You know, so we are this unique collaboration of people like me who are industry vets who have only done employee benefits their entire life, coupled with the other half of my team who have no employee benefits experience at all. And it's been this unique blend of the folks like me who've been at this their entire career, know all the rules and regulations, coupled with people who get to challenge that and say, yeah, but does employee benefits have to be difficult, right? Can it be user experience focused? So I have worked all the way from Fortune 100 health plans to family-owned third-party administrators, national technology administrators. And I ended up joining ThrivePass because I was an advisor to the board for about 2 years before I joined full-time. And every time I met with them, 2 weeks later, they'd come back to me and show me some unique technology they built on my feedback. And we actually were achieving something. So it was something I wanted to be a part of. And you couple that with the culture that they were already starting to create. At that time, they had probably 20 employees. We have 148 today in 6 countries. And it's been awesome to be part of that journey.
That's so cool. I kind of want to go back for a moment. When you say lifestyle benefits, like what does that look like? It sounds interesting.
Yeah, so the industry has been very interesting. We entered 9 years ago into this space as a gym reimbursement platform, right? Employers said, I have full-time employees who are just reimbursing folks for their gym membership. They could be doing more beneficial work for my firm. Could you guys build a piece of technology? So we said, of course, we took that on. That evolved in the employee benefit space into a true well-being platform, right? Where we said, not only do we do gym memberships, but not everyone goes to the gym. Some people have at-home gym equipment. Some people do yoga studios, right? So we started to expand that into physical wellness. That has ballooned into employers now use our platform to give their clients stipends for music subscriptions, help people work remote, use our platform for delivery of dollars for training on diversity and inclusion, and on and on and on. Our most interesting category that we manage, I think, is personal expression. We have employers who give their employees money to get piercings and tattoos, right? So as our clients figure out what are they trying to achieve culturally, we get to help them do that through their benefits that they deliver to their employees.
I really love that. I love that, especially in a climate where culture in organizations is most of the time more important than a lot of other pieces like the salary, et cetera. It's like, what are my benefits and what am I, how can I improve my life by working here? And, it's not just me giving, it's the company giving back. And so I really like the idea of expanding it. And of course, it fits with the title of the company, ThrivePass, in terms of the idea of really thriving in your job, not just, working. So I love that. And so speaking of people and speaking of culture, when you think of kind of what makes great cultures, what makes great teams, what are some of the softer skills, since that's kind of our industry, that you think are really kind of critical in today's business world to have and to kind of increase and master?
Yeah, so I guess first of all, let's start with culture, right? I think every organization has their own unique culture, and it's not a set of values that founders set way back in the day, right? It is truly what you feel and experience when you join an organization. So at ThrivePass, I think it's the only company I've ever worked at or led where we live our values every day. And we literally have a care bear every Monday that gets assigned from employee to employee for people who have lived our care values.
I love it.
So for us, that's courageous, authentic, resourceful, and excellence. And then if you take that down a level and say, what are some of these softer skills that everyone needs or that organizations need to support that culture that you're trying to create? I think you have to look across the organization at informal leadership, right? And I'm talking not people who were given a title, but people who step up and help initiative to get across the line, who are supportive of their team without a title. I think you need emotional intelligence, communication. These are things that are critical. And we started because of COVID. We're in a totally remote environment, right? Before COVID, we had three offices, one in New Delhi, one in Denver, one in Minneapolis. I now have employees in 32 states working from home, 6 countries. The guy that works for us in Poland has to be able to get online and still feel that culture, right? That takes a really high level of communication, commitment, and all the things we just talked about.
I love that.
Yeah, tough to keep that culture fire going, we find, at least in the interviews that we've had with other leaders in that remote world. I'm curious to know if you have any, other than just more communication, what are the secrets you've got to unlock this truly remote environment that still allows people to feel welcomed, to feel important, to feel a part of a crew?
So I think for me, and I don't profess to have the answer, I'm still exploring this throughout my career, right? And that's part of the fun of being a leader, is how do you continue to tackle this challenge? But the best way that I think I can explain it is culture has to be part and parcel to who you are, right? It can't be this thing you talk about. It can't be events that happen throughout the year. It has to be how people, live and breathe the organization, right? So that's in every interaction. There's got to be accountability to that. And accountability cannot be top down. It can't be the CEO's on the call, so I show up this way, living our values, right? It has to be infused into co-accountability throughout the organization, where it is the expectation, right? And at ThrivePass, we hire and terminate on values before anything else, right? That is part and parcel to who we are. And I also have this fundamental belief that as human beings, we are all just a ball of habits, some good and some bad. And if we want the culture to become part of our habits, we have to infuse it into the habits of the organization.
Yeah, actually, I love how you mentioned that, because that definitely speaks to some of our belief structure about how you change behavior, because behavior is habitual. And so the only way to do that is over time. And it does take time to kind of change behavior, to improve skills, to relearn a particular behavior that maybe isn't serving you, et cetera.
Just
Go ahead.
One quick comment. It sounds like you could take your A in your authentic for your care description, right? The acronym that you've got, and swap out accountability pretty easily. That seems to fit right in line with what you're doing.
By the way, we've had that debate every year for the 5 years that I've been here. Should this be accountable or should it be authentic? That. So you're spot on.
Hey.
Maybe you put both in and it's just a double A with like an umlaut. Right?
Yeah.
Bear. Harbor.
That almost felt for like a hot minute like we were in the movie A Fish Called Wanda, saying like Cathcart Towers when he has the, or hotel, when he had the like French fries up his nose. Call, sing it, sing it. Okay, I have another question for you. So, thinking about, and I love the way you're talking about leadership as something that's intrinsic, not necessarily title driven. Like that to me is the sign of a really great leader, when they see the ability to lead and to be accountable and to empower and to support as part of the way they communicate and connect. What is the best advice that someone has given you as you've moved through your career into leadership positions?
I mean, I've had so much great advice throughout my career. It's really hard to pinpoint one, but I will tell you a few things that I think have formulated what I believe as a leader. So I think getting buy-in throughout the organization and alignment is key to getting anywhere, right? We're actually pivoting it as an organization right now to say, if we're going to get to great, right? I think we're good. I think we're probably better than most in our industry, but we want to be the best, right? And that is a unique and universal thought throughout the organization. So we're now pivoting to say, how do we get everyone involved in the solution, right? We gauge ourselves every quarter and we ask the organization, can the best ideas come from anywhere in the organization, right? And true organizations who make a real lasting change are not top-down driven, right? I tell my team all the time, if you're waiting for me to have all the good ideas, you're going to be waiting for a really long time, right? You guys do the job. You know it better than I do. Help us co-create this future. And I had a really inspiring mentor as my very first leader out of college who truly exemplified how you get hundreds, thousands of people all headed in the same direction where they feel co-ownership of the future. You're unstoppable if you get everyone in the organization feeling like they co-own where we're headed.
I love that. I love that. Actually, are there any job openings there? Need to come in and work with you.
Asking for a friend.
There are. Go to ThrivePass.com.
Okay, so let's turn that on its head a little bit.
Well, so what are the challenges that you're seeing? What are your biggest challenges, the headwinds for ThrivePass this coming year, and kind of what are you putting focus to?
Yeah, I mean, employee benefits is a unique space, right? Like I said, I have worked at Fortune 100 health plans. That's on the medical insurance side. If you think about people who work in this space from the employer side, that takes up 90% of their headspace, right? That means I've got less than 10% of the headspace that is going to be dedicated to these cultural initiatives where we fit in uniquely, right? So our tailwinds are that the majority of the employers in the United States are now focusing on how benefits become part of culture and how you leverage them more holistically instead of completely separate from, right? And we're in this unique vantage point to be a part of helping them tie their benefits packages to the cultural outcomes that they want to see in their organization, right? So we've got some tremendous tailwinds in that direction. The cost of capital is hard, right? These programs are not inexpensive, right? My administrative fees are a teeny tiny little fraction of the cost of running these programs. And what I'm trying to help educate the industry of, because we've sit on a tremendous amount of data, right? We have hundreds of thousands of members internationally. So we know at what levels people engage, at what type of programs they engage. So we're trying to help educate the industry. If you want engagement and you want to make a cultural impact, by the way, you don't have to have a massive budget. Our findings are that if you give your employees $30 a month and give them control over how they spend those dollars in a fairly broad fashion, right? A lot of the things we talked about today in terms of categorically how you can manage that, you get 80% engagement. And in employee benefits, that is a phenomenal engagement rate. Most employers think that they have to give thousands of dollars to programs like this to get people engaged. So there's this educational gap that exists and a knowledge set we sit on trying to help hundreds of thousands of employers throughout the country realize that you don't have to have millions of dollars to make this kind of impact. You really need $25 to $30 a month for every employee.
Is that true? I'm curious, Ryan, is that true across generations? You know, one of the things that we often see that we discuss is that the Gen Zers versus the Gen Y versus the Gen X versus the baby boomers, right? We still are in a world where there are possibly 4 generations that are working for us and with us. How do you address those different levels with your platform, or how are you thinking about it strategically with your platform?
Yeah, so we focus on what we're dubbing hyper-personalization, right? We have to meet people where they are, and that means that our experiences have to be outside in. We have to understand our user base, which is our clients' employees, right? And how they want to engage with benefits and meeting them where they're at, right? So whether that is the user experience we've created where you can shop off of our platform, right? You can have an at-home gym. You can go to a yoga studio. You can get your gym membership through us. You can do it off platform, right? We've created this community approach to how that user experience works, right? And the good news is there's no perfect sauce. You just have to continue to learn about your user base and make sure that you take an outside-in approach and meet them where they're at. So it is interesting, right? I think that this old adage that like our parents, at least my parents, right, who are still working, might not be on a cell phone. My dad has a smartphone, right? He has an app. He knows how to use that thing. I taught him how to use it, but he still uses it every day, right? So, and I also know Gen Zers who are, trying to limit their online time, right? They're trying to get out into the world and experience it. And our platform is trying to support them where they're at.
I have to say, like, I've known about your company and your business, and I've known kind of just very much on the surface and of what you provide and what you do. And I feel like I've gotten much more of a deep dive now. And I will tell you, for years, and I used to be a recruiter in HR for a very large insurance company on Wall Street. And I can tell you that even then, the biggest deal was engagement and retention. And this particular company didn't do a good job of retention because it was very like you worked for them and you got their NASCAR logo, right? And then you got out of there because then you could work anywhere. What I am hearing from so many leaders today and businesses is that we just don't, where are all the people and how can we attract them and how can we bring them in? And to me, and it's really a statement, I just think that ThrivePass sounds like a really lovely addition for both the cultural perspective, like you said, connecting it to the culture, which I think is so brilliant, as opposed to this freestanding thing. And then secondarily, pulling in your, I should flip it, investing in your employees in a way that satisfies them. And they're going to show up then with wellness and thriving because you've invested them. It's like to me, it's like a big circle. It's a circle of investment. You invest in them and then they invest in themselves and they come back to you having, thriving, right? And ready to give back. And so to me, what a brilliant product and what a brilliant idea for businesses that are probably out there thinking like, I have to give thousands. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just need to rethink the way we're looking at benefits. So it's exciting times. What is, as a leader, what are you looking forward to in 2024 in terms of ThrivePass and the market? And then also personally, you can give us maybe business side first, and then we'll talk personally.
Yeah, we'll do business first. I think that's a great approach. So as we go into next year, we're doubling down on creating personalization throughout the entire experience, right? That's what we exist for. And you're exactly right. It is this feedback loop in the process with employers and their employees and meeting them where they're at. And that means we've got to be students of where people are at, right? And this is ever changing since COVID in our culture. So we're going to double down on creating personalization. I'm excited about getting my team to the next level. I would put my team role for role up against any one of our competitors every day of the week, right? Okay. And now I get an opportunity to invest in them and continue to get them to where they want to be in their careers, right? I have a phenomenal team. I had a conversation last night about why I keep showing up. And yeah, we do some cool stuff, right? And we invent and create some cool stuff. But it's not why I show up every day. I show up every day because I get to work with a world-class team who challenges me to be better every day. So I'm excited about that in 24.
That's awesome. Yeah.
On the personal front, we had a great 23. My son got to play soccer in Spain, so we had to spend 2 weeks in Spain just recently. Next year is going to be a lot about family. I've got grandbabies up in North Dakota, and we want to spend some more time up there with the grandbabies. So excited about that. I've got 3 now. I've got 1 more on the way. So my wife and I and our son who's at home want to spend some time with the grandbabies.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds fantastic.
Gift. What
that sounds
gift.
fantastic.
I love that.
Well, Ryan, we would like to say thank you very much for your time today. I think our viewers are really going to enjoy the comments that you have to make, and especially as you look and think about how important culture is to businesses. Again, it's a softer thing, right? We come from a soft skills, power skills space. What you're delivering, culture is malleable. It's not something that you can measure as easily as you can production or accounting. So it's tough, and we're really excited about what you're thinking about for the new year and your product. I think it's your product and services. I think you do something really interesting in the marketplace.
Yeah, watch out. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a flood of applications after people see this, because they're going to be like, I want to work in that content.
Those applications.
Yes.
And
where can they find you again?
Exactly.
Where can they find you again?
ThrivePass.com.
Awesome.
Hey,
ThrivePass.com.
Yes.
Thanks again for your time.
Thank you guys for having me. What a joy to spend this time with you guys. So thank you guys. I think the world of you. Keep up the good work on your guys' side. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks,
we will talk soon.